Every year around this time, like clockwork, designers start asking the same question. What are the design trends for next year? New lists drop, new predictions, new mood boards. I'm telling you right now, it's all noise, fairy dust. Trends don't matter in 2026. Today we're gonna talk about why they used to matter, what changed, and we're gonna answer the question, why don't trends matter in 2026? But before we do, I'm Ziggy the Designer. I'm a graphic designer who's worked alongside some of the world's most recognizable brands, including United Airlines, Target, and Stanford University. If you like the conversations we're having on this channel, be sure to support the show by giving this episode a like, leaving a comment down below, and of course, by subscribing. Let's get into it. Design is all around us, so let's talk about it. So, design trends used to do something important. They helped people identify quality. When industries moved together visually, it created shared standards. You could look at a brand, at a product, at a campaign, and immediately understand where it sat culturally. Tech in the 2010s is the obvious example, right? We're looking at clean layouts, sans serif type, neutral palettes, simple interfaces, and that wasn't accidental. That was an industry aligning around the same goals. Goals like gaining user trust, communicating the product clearly, and designing for usability. Trends worked because the culture moved slower. You had fewer platforms, fewer voices shaping taste. Ideas took time to spread, mature, and settle. Back then, following a trend meant that you were paying attention. It suggested awareness, it suggested competence, sometimes it even suggested taste. But that world simply doesn't exist anymore. So what happened to that world? What broke it? What changed? Well, I'll tell you, it's two simple things. The first thing is speed, right? Trends don't have time to settle anymore. By the time something becomes visible enough to be called a trend, it's already been copied, filtered, reposted, and watered down. I mean, you see it in fashion, you see it in music, you definitely see it in graphic design. Once something hits your feed enough times that it feels familiar, it's already late. And the second thing is fragmentation. Design isn't just one conversation anymore, right? Agency designers are looking at different references than fashion graphic designers, and fashion graphic designers are looking at different references than tech graphic designers, and tech graphic designers are playing an entirely different game altogether. There's no shared center. So when someone says, this is where design is headed, what they usually mean is this is what my corner of design is talking about. And that's not a trend. That is living in a bubble. So then why don't trends matter? Here's the thing. If you're relying on trends to guide your work, you're not really doing any design work here. You're borrowing decisions that someone else already made. You're copying how another designer solved a problem without dealing with the problem yourself. And that shows. You can usually tell when a portfolio is built around trends. The work feels familiar but not specific. It feels competent but disposable at the same time, and it ages fast. Right? When I was in college, for example, Helvetica was the typeface. I mean, I can picture it right now. Helvetica Neue, bold, with the little air quotes around it. Very like Virgil Abloh era stuff. If you were serious, you used Helvetica. If you were cool, you definitely used Helvetica. Now, if I see Helvetica anywhere in a portfolio, I know exactly when that graphic designer learned what good taste looked like, and that they haven't really updated their thinking since. That's what trends do to your work. They timestamp it. Personal style, on the other hand, doesn't work like that, and that's what really matters here, personal style. When someone has a point of view, you can feel it across different projects, different industries, and different formats. Not because everything looks the same, but because the thinking is consistent. And that is what lasts. Looking current is easy. You just match what's already out there. Developing your own style, though, your own taste, that is harder. It takes time. It requires making decisions without a template. And in 2026, that gap matters more than ever. So yeah, design trends don't matter going into 2026. What matters is your ability to think for yourself when the references disappear, because that ability to think is what makes you stand out. It's what gives you your own voice as a designer, and in my opinion, that is worth more than anything you have in this industry. But how do you feel about trends heading into 2026? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. That's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to support the show by giving this episode a like, subscribing, and of course by sharing this one out. I've been Ziggy the Designer. If there are 2 things you need to know about me, it's that 1, I love design, and 2, I'm very opinionated. I'll talk with y'all later. Bye-bye.